So we're finding the limit as x goes to pi over 6 of x squared times tangent of x. Now, with the limit, that means that this is some function, right? It's some, who knows what kind of function it is. It's some function, and I want to find out when x is pi over 6. This is not the function, but I'm just giving an example. Here's pi over 6 right here. I'm trying to find out what I expect the value to be of that function. That's what limit means. What's the limit of this? What do I expect the value to be of this function as x gets closer to pi over 6?
Okay.
So I'm on a graph somewhere, like imagine being in your graphing calculator, and I'm tracing it down all the way to pi over 6. And the easiest way to do this is to know that, it's a continuous function at that point at pi over 6, and so the answer is just whatever you get when you plug pi over 6 in to that function. It's f of pi over 6. That's always the easiest thing to do, always the first thing you should try. And so sure enough, I can do that here. That's just going to equal pi over 6 squared times the tangent of pi over 6. So now I have to simplify this. Well, tangent of pi over 6, if you remember the unit circle, pi over 6 is your 30 degrees right here. And so this right here was 1/2, and this was root 3 over 2. And so the tangent is the opposite over the adjacent, or the sine over the cosine. So that's just equal to 1/2 over root 3 over 2. And we still have pi over 6 squared here. So we'll simplify that later. Now I'm going to take this mixed fraction here and simplify it. So I flip. The way to do that is to take 1/2 and multiply it by the reciprocal. And when I do that, I cancel the 2's out, and I just get 1 over root 3. And then your teachers taught you, when you have 1 over root 3, that's not a simplified radical because there's a radical in the bottom. So what you do is you multiply the bottom and top by root 3 over root 3, and that gets rid of your root 3 on the bottom. It just becomes 3.
Okay.
And I have root 3 on the top.
Okay.
So this whole thing right here just equals root 3 over 3. And I've got pi over 6 squared here. So then I can just simplify that more. I mean, that might be fine. That answer might be sufficient for your teacher. Depends if they want it as a decimal or a simplified radical. So your answer could be root 3 pi squared all over 36 times 3 is what, 108? I believe 108. 36 times 3. 8. 108, yeah. There's your answer.
Okay.